Okay, can you hear me now?
I sure can.
All right, I got you.
Outstanding.
I didn't realize you had to download this app, and then for some reason I don't know if my dog ran by, but my modem got unplugged, and I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Like right at noon, my modem gets unplugged.
So you called the IT guy, and the IT guy said, "Well, did you plug it in? Is it
No,
plugged in?"
it's right there, man. I plugged it in, but then it takes that cycle. You have to go through the whole boot up process, and
I hear you. I hear
plus
you.
I have so many things in my house that are counting on the Wi-Fi that it's trying to recognize everything, and it's a mess.
Uh,
Sorry.
no
Go ahead.
worries. I'm Woody, by the way. I'm Woody from 93X here in Minneapolis. Nice to
Nice to
meet
meet
you.
you.
How have you been doing? I'm really eager to talk about your new video, but I'm curious. How are you doing at home? Your family well? Everybody safe and healthy?
Everything is good here, man. I have no problems. I'm just not one of the guys that have freaked out over this thing from the beginning because I recognize it as what it is. Not that we're not being responsible, but I'm just not thinking it's Armageddon either. Like some people are just really flipping out over this thing. And I'm just one of those guys that knows that like anything else, this will pass. It's not going to wipe out our planet. And we'll get back. You know, it's going to take a minute because I think people are going to be shell shocked and not want to be in crowds right away, like concerts or sporting events.
Sure.
And they're going to want to replenish their savings, which I think is another thing that's just going to take a little time, even if we have a cure tomorrow. But I don't think it's going to be like years of this stuff. You know what I mean? I just think it's going to be a reset and in a way, kind of a good thing because how many times do you hear from all your business partners and friends and guys like, I just work so much. I never have time to go for a walk with my little girl or take my kids to ice cream or sit down and be home with my family. It's like, well, there you go. You know, God just gave you a gift. So
Yeah.
instead of fighting it, you know, buckle down, embrace it, enjoy the time because it's going to pass and you will be back to work. And then you may not have that time again.
So you're
So
gonna start missing it.
yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, I think that's the outlook that you have to take in order to maintain through all the chaos that's going on right now. What kind of stuff have you been doing at home now that you found yourself with all this new free time?
You wouldn't even believe the crap I'm into. It's like, I'm busier now than before COVID. It's really so crazy. But for the most part, you know, I'm home with my girl. My daughter is with her mom. They live about 45 minutes from me, and I want her to stay there because she's very asthmatic, and I don't want her
Oh, no.
being put at risk because I think, you know, for someone like me, I got big lungs and I run a lot and what I do on stage and singing. And so I'm sure that like, you know, if I haven't had this already, I would beat it fairly quickly because, you know, I have a pretty good immune system. She's weaker in that sense. So,
Yeah.
but for me and my girl, we're here. I have a gym in my studio about 4 miles up the road. So we either go from here to work out back home, or I stay there and I work on music. And then the last few days, I have actually converted my house into like NBC Studios TV set. And I'm going to be going live in about maybe another 3 or 4 days. Tuesday, I think we're going to start a new YouTube channel. And I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff here out of my home.
Get out of here. Can you give us any idea of what we might expect from you?
Yeah, we're going to try. Oh, hold on. I'm boiling pasta. I'm going to take you with me.
Right on.
I am going to actually do Tuesdays and Thursday nights, I believe. And Tuesdays will probably be more of like hang out, review vinyl records, talk about music, bring on guests that are like more of my celebrity friends. I've had some people already agree that they're going to come on. We're going to do like a 60-minute show, you know, twice a week. And Thursdays is going to be reserved more for our serious guests to deal with like people that want to talk about, you know, their insecurities, the Scars Foundation, how they're handling this COVID pandemic, people that need help besides the people that are on the front lines, you know, while the government kind of services getting the PPP and paychecks into people's accounts. We're going to be trying to deal with the other situations that are arising even more, like suicide prevention, drug addiction, you know, severe
Domestic violence,
depression.
those sorts of things.
Yep. So,
Right.
and that's what the Scars Foundation is about. So, you know, we're going to really focus that show and the awareness on that and drive people towards the foundation to be able to see that there's a real community there we're building with experts that can help people in these kind of situations if they already have mental illness issues, that it will maybe they're spiraling even more because of this and having a bit of a freak out, you know, feeling isolated and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're hearing that happens a lot.
Yeah. So it's and you know, just have some fun with it in general, and just kind of, you know, keep myself occupied too, so I don't go stir crazy being at home.
Right. Now, should we expect this on your YouTube channel?
On Sully Erna's YouTube channel. Yep.
All right.
And the
pretty soon, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's like we've been working on this thing for the last week and just getting all the bugs out and working out all the you know, the little glitches that we face on the streaming, live streaming and stuff, because it'll be live streamed. Nothing's going to be pre-recorded. It's going to be real talk, real situations, beyond music. The show is actually called Hometown Sessions, Real Life Beyond Music. And so I'm getting ready to ramp that thing up and just kind of dive into, you know, giving people some relief, talking about the new video we released, all the positive stuff, and then also picking a day to try to work with the more serious topics and at least help navigate people that are having some problems with that.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what you do with that. That's
yeah, it's going to be a shit show. Sure.
Speaking of shit shows, the fit really hit the shan, and we were definitely looking forward to seeing you guys come and visit Target Center with Volbeat next month.
Yeah.
Definitely a disappointment. Have you got any news on reschedule of the tour, or some idea of when we might actually get to see Godsmack and Volbeat again?
It's a tricky subject. I can't speak for Volbeat, but for us, you know, we've been really internally looking at what the best possibilities are and what the best plan is, because we were just coming out to do one final run through the States as the last leg of the When Legends Rise tour. And this whole thing tipped it upside down. But since it was going to be kind of the finale, and then we were going back into the studio to write and record another record, we were looking at two different possibilities. And unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is we probably are going to be shutting down for the year, simply because we need to write a new record, and that just takes a little time. And this is kind of a blessing in disguise for us. So we need some quiet time. We need to get into the studio, write a record, record it, mix it, master it, get it ready, which we'll probably launch at the beginning of 21. And the other thing is that if we start to posture to try to bump this out into like the fall, let's say, when everyone else is trying to bump into the fall, I think either one of two things are going to happen. We're going to have either a really saturated market with too many events trying to happen and people having to try to choose, or more importantly, people aren't going to want to go regardless of who's playing, because again, a little bit of the shell shock factor going on. Do I want to be around crowds? And also, well, now that the country's up and running again, what's more important? Do I buy a concert ticket, or do I start to replenish my savings account? So I have a feeling that even if concerts try to bump into the fall, they're going to be disappointed at the attendance. So we went and started thinking maybe we should, instead of try to claim our piece of real estate in the fall, let's bump out a little further, get our record done, and be first to pick our venues, to pick the dates we want to do these venues, our tour bus selections, and really kind of be first on the spring or summer of 21. So I think as the country heals, as people repair their personal situations, we'll be working, getting content ready, and being ready for the new year.
Summer of 2021 sounds like a
really
nice time, doesn't it? It sounds like it's a ways away, but
yeah.
You know, time to be outside.
But again, we're all going to be busy doing stuff to rebuild, right? So even everybody in their normal life situations, they're not going to like eradicate this thing so quickly and then right back to work. There's going to be that lag. So time's going to pass, you know, and I have confidence though. I really feel that we're resilient and people are going to bounce back strong. And just like anything else with the swine flu or SARS or whatever, it's going to pass. We're going to feel confident again. Maybe this will be a little bit more aware to like not lick your hands after shake someone's hand and dumb things like that, touch your face like I just did. But those kind of things I think are good little pieces for us to maybe help, round off, what we're supposed to do and not do in general with germs and viruses and stuff like that. So, again, there's a lot of positivity with this thing happening. And I think people should just look at that side of it and know that the worst part is just finding stuff to do to get through the moment.
Well, your positivity and your resolve is really the perfect segue into our discussion about the new video for Unforgettable, because it's really great. It's a great video. It's touching, it's uplifting, and I'm definitely interested to hear you speak about it and tell me how you ended up collaborating with 400 teenagers.
Yeah, so the original video script that I came up with was completely different than this. But then I started realizing that the message in the song, and this was before COVID hit, was really about kind of feeling music as the energy it is and why it's such an anomaly, something that is just kind of really, when you break down music, it's nothing more than sound waves, right? It's just frequencies.
No
But frequencies are nothing more than simple vibrations. And if you think about that, if this is just something vibrating, whether it's a drum head when you hit it, or whether it's a guitar string when you stretch it, why is it that when these vibrations come in contact with us, it creates emotion? And that's the miracle. That's the mystery behind music. And it's really the gift. It's kind of like one of the only things I know on this earth that you could hear a song and it can take you right back to that time and place when you first heard it, what you were feeling when you were hanging out with your friends. It really brings you back to that memory, right? Like scent. Maybe scent is one of the only other things that can do that. You can smell something and go, oh, that reminds me of
that time. I know that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the message really became, for me, I have to twist this more into an inspiring message. And I wanted it to be inspired by the next generation, because we've already done our job. We're kind of we're later into our careers, and the next generation is moving in, and they're going to be the ones that pave the way and create the new styles of music and all that. So I wanted people to hear this from the kids' perspective, because I got triggered by watching some things about, when schools need to cut their budgets, the first thing that goes is the music program.
No doubt.
The Grammys decide to cut the hard rock music category, which to me is a disgrace, because it invalidates the Beatles, the Elvis Presleys, the Led Zeppelins and Aerosmiths, the Stairway to Heavens and Dream Ons of the world that created some of the most important music in history. And as if it doesn't matter, just because pop music is dominating right now. And so be it. Good for them. I have no problems with any kind of genre. I root for them. I like a lot of that kind of music. But where's the balance in the Grammys? Why were you the most elite award show that was like the Oscars for musicians at one point? And now it's really like becoming theater and just pop and hip hop. And it's like, you're the Grammys. You should be acknowledging everything, right? So don't shove all these bands into rock category, because they're not rock. Some of them are alternative. Some of them are classic. Some of them are hard rock. Metal is metal, speed, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, these are kind of the things that I want the corporations, the giants out there, to recognize that this isn't just me complaining or some people that are musicians, kind of bitching about it. It's important to the kids too. It's their favorite kind of music. Yeah. These movements in music are inspiring kids everywhere. So I was like, let's take this thing to the kids and do a very documentary style video and show them how important it is to them and what music means to them, not just to us as the creators. And so it became a very fun, inspiring video to shoot, and working with these kids was a real pleasure. For more than 300 kids that had no experience shooting a video, they killed it for us. And I'm so proud of them. And I'm so proud that this video is focused more on the children than the band.
Did you have any experience being at the front of a classroom teaching music before?
Well, over the years, I've really dedicated a lot of my time to just working with kids, keeping them off the street, out of the woods with a bottle of vodka and, off drugs and alcohol and violence. And that's where my background is. And that's where my experience has been. So I finally realized where my place in life was, and that is to take that wisdom and pass it on and try to help a kid change his path. So I do a lot of like TED Talk style speeches in middle schools and things like that. And so it's all that came together. And I'm like, why wouldn't this should be the theme about music and why it's unforgettable? Because it means so much to so many more people. And how about even in these times, in some of this crazy pandemic times, what are people leaning on right now? Each other and music.
No doubt.
Right? They're looking for music to be a healer. But yet someone like Nancy Pelosi pushes to pass this bill for $25 million to save the Kennedy Performing Arts Center. And as soon as the bill gets passed and they fight and fight and fight, make a stink about it when we should be focusing on COVID and eradicating the virus, they get it passed. Trump's finally like, fine, take the money, do what you got to do with the performing arts. And they fire all the musicians. The whole orchestra gets fired.
Right.
And I go, wow, so there it is again. Music's so important right now, but yet we always lose. It's the first thing to get cut when people need to save a penny. So my opinion is, without getting too emotional, because I get emotional about this stuff, is maybe high schools should start thinking about cutting trigonometry before music.
Right.
Who the hell uses trigonometry unless you're going to be
Not
a
me.
rocket scientist? And if you are, you're going to go to school to learn about trigonometry.
No doubt.
Music is that important. It is a universal language that we all connect to. It's a gift, and I think it should not be invalidated. And that's the purpose of this video, to show the power of music.
I think that anytime you can give a young person the opportunity to turn their dream into a set of achievable goals, that is a commendable thing. And I definitely salute you for that.
Thanks, man.
It's a touching video, definitely something that I think we could all benefit from watching at a time like this.
Yeah, you know, you hear it from the kids' mouth. They weren't scripted. We literally ran this like a documentary. We came in and we just interviewed before they even knew what this video was going to be out. Hey, what is music to you? What does it mean to you? How does it make you feel? All those responses, and that was just a speck of them, were so organic and genuine and so mature for their age group that I was like, wow, see, that proves my point. Music is really important to these kids. When they feel abandoned, when they feel like their parents don't understand or they have no friends around them, music is the one thing that they can always rely on that lifts them, heals them, and makes them feel better. And for that, I think we need to honor it. And I'm just trying to bring more awareness to that.
Well, on that note, Sully, thank you very much for taking a little bit of your time to spend it with me. The video is great. And we're looking forward to seeing you back in Minneapolis sometime with some new music. With some new music.
For sure, man. We'll make it more special than ever. We love your city, man, a lot.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Much love to you. Thanks, Sully.
You too, brother. Take care, man. All right. Ciao.